Greetings, Kaiser Oakland, Kaiser Richmond nurses. My name is Alan Bolda and Josh Burke, and this is part of our series for our new hires. And what I'm going to demonstrate today is the use of the Cisco telepresence machine, and it's a great way to teleconference with some of our new workflows, which include stroke. I'll talk about that in just a second. But currently, right now over at Richmond, we're using it predominantly for pediatrics, because we don't have a pediatric department, but it has now been expanded to the use for stroke and eventually 5150s or psych or a lot of other departments will eventually catch wind of this and start using it. But for right now, I do want to go over and show you some of the features of this. And what it is this is basically, if anyone has ever used Skype or FaceTime, if you're an Apple user, or Skype or any of these teleconference video conferencing programs, this is exactly what it is. And it's just a high definition version of it, where the sound is optimal. The camera is a high definition camera. The screen, everything about this is just high definition. That's the main thing I really want to point out. Some of the key components of it, well, first, make sure it is always turned on, all right? Make sure it's always turned on. And don't press this button right here. This button is the off button, all right? Make sure it's always turned on and kept plugged in, all right? If you press this button right here, it turns it off. The problem with turning it off, I mean, it's not catastrophic, but when you turn it off, it takes about 5 to 6 minutes to turn back on. So when you actually need it for stroke alert or pediatrics, and you try turning it back on, don't expect to get anything for the next 6, maybe 7 minutes, because it has to reboot the wireless and more technical stuff that I can't even talk about. But just in summary, don't press the off button. You can press the silent button right over here, because there's really no use to press the silent button. It will start beeping on you when the power is running low. But the power, this will run solely on battery power for about 2, maybe 2.5 hours, in standby mode, and it'll last about 1 hour when you're actually making a phone call, which is more than long enough when doing a stroke eval, a neuro eval or a pediatric eval or anything. But in general, just keep it plugged in, don't turn it off. All right. So other features of this, no, it's not really necessary to press any of these other buttons. There's a volume button over here, but it also does come with a remote, and the person that you're calling on the other end also has this machine, and they can have control of the camera as well. So if they have to do a more in-depth eval of the patient, if they have to zoom in on the lungs or on a wound or anything, they can do so as well. And once again, this is a high definition camera. I tested it myself, and you can literally read 12-point font from clearly across the room. So that's how strong this thing is. All right. Other things about it. This is so it does come with a remote. It's tethered on here, and I do want to go about showing you how to place a test call and how this is going to work into the stroke workflow. For one, as you might already know, when a patient first comes in, when we get this initial stroke alert from the paramedics, from EMS, we're going to call our own internal stroke alert. And at that point, it's a good time to mobilize, get our gurney right there in the ambulance area, and get this piece of equipment right there in the ambulance area. So therefore, when the paramedics come and those ambulance gates open, you have the neurologist right here ready to do that exam. And that's where TPA and CT can be ordered within the first 5 minutes. All right? So it's imperative, once that internal stroke alert is called, get that ambulance gurney, get the Alaris pump, get your staff, and get the neurologist dialed in over here. All right? Generally, they're going to give us a call, but let me also show you how to place a call. Here you go. Just go ahead and press the home button, or you could even press the call button. It's like making a simple phone call. The remote is very user-friendly. Press the call button right there, and it'll pull any one of these numbers up right here. All right. You'll see it on here. We'll have it set where the stroke telehub will be on here as well. But I'm gonna show you how to make a test call right there using the test connection. Just go ahead and either press the center button right here. You can go up and down if you want to choose, or go ahead and press call again. And probably within the next seconds or so, we're gonna get a phone call. We're gonna have Scott from the connection center on the screen over here. Hey Scott, I'm just filming a video right now showing everybody how to use this. And I think I went over all the details about it. It's high definition camera, high definition screen, high definition sound. There's also some ports over here. We're not using this yet, but there's a headphones port. It's not to listen to your MP3s or anything else. It's actually for a stethoscope contraption where you can plug it in here, and the person on the other end with the earphones can listen to can listen to heart sounds, lung sounds, and everything else. All right. So basically, that's it. It's as simple as making this a simple a FaceTime call or a Skype call. You just press that button, and same thing on the other end. The neurologist or the pediatrician on the other hand can do the exact same thing. They also can have full control of the camera. As I mentioned earlier, if the neurologist on the other side, Scott will demonstrate that right now. I won't touch anything. You'll see the camera start moving itself because he'll have control of the camera. There you go. All right.
Hello.
There you go, and you can take a look. This is Scott from the test center. It's, as I said, high definition. We got one critical component to this on why we have this and why we're using this, because part of the stroke workflow requires that we have a neurologist, and neurologists currently at this time will be available between the hours of 7 a.m. to midnight, all right, via the Cisco Telepresence hub. So they are available for that stroke. They will be there present, and in fact, the way the workflow will go is from the time those ambulance gates open to and the patient rolls in, the neurologist is immediately examining them within the first 5 minutes. Furthermore, at that point, the neurologist is also ordering the CT, ordering the TPA, and when we're transporting the patient from the ambulance bay all the way to CT, guess what? This thing is going with it too. So neurologists will be on here, and they will be there in the CT, right there with the patient, doing their entire assessment, and they will stay with them all throughout the entire time. They will be the ones that are that are calling the shots, calling the huddle, giving a thumbs up, thumbs down, whether or not we're going to give TPA. All right. So basically, you have a neurologist during the entire duration of that stroke patient, from the time they enter to the time we're giving TPA and afterwards. All right. So that's another key component of that. That's why we have this thing. It has several uses, but that's a big neurology piece. It's portable. It goes with the patient all the way to CT from the time they arrive and back over here if necessary. All right. Thank you guys. That's about it. See me if you have any questions.